And welcome to Concepts of a Podcast. We don't have a podcast, we have concepts of a podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Like, comment, and answer the poll on Spotify. And please rate us 5 stars on Spotify. And feel free to email feedback to conceptsofapodcast@gmail.com. This is episode 13, part 2 of our recommended game series. I'm Apex Dova.
I'm Cowboy Bebop Crew.
All right, let's get into it. All right, do you want to just get straight into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. The first category of this episode is MOBAs. And I'll start off. I'm not a big MOBA player, but I've seen some stuff that's like, you know what? People who would be interested in that should probably try these games. So my recommended game from MOBAs will be It's like Dragon Ball Gekishin something. I don't know the exact name. I always get it confused. But it's like the newest Dragon Ball MOBA that's out on a ton of platforms. I think pretty much all platforms. It's got crossplay between those two things, and it's a decent-ish MOBA. Like between all those factors, and it's free. Between all those factors, I would recommend it if you're looking to get into MOBAs. It's most accessible. It does have some issues. People kind of complain that it's a little pay to winny, but you don't have to pay. It's just that characters, when they're released, are a little strong at first, and they're in the paid category, and then they eventually become free. But by then, they're nerfed. But other than that, the game is relatively... If you want to just try MOBAs, you have no idea what they're like, it's a good place to start. All right, okay. Cowboy, what's your recommended MOBA game?
Okay, so kind of like Apex, I don't really play MOBA games like that. I play very briefly like Smite and things like that. But I guess the most accessible game that I can think of off the top of my head is probably Pokemon Unite. It's on Nintendo platforms, specifically the Switch. It was made by, I believe, Timmy Studio. When I played it very briefly, it seemed accessible. It seemed pretty decent. People are still playing it to this day. I'm not sure if it's to the same degree as it was when it first launched, but it's something that seems fairly accessible, fairly understandable for all ages. The only thing is it's limited to, I believe, Nintendo platforms. It might be on PC, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's on the Switch. I don't know about Switch 2. It might be cross-platform, but... cross.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's cross-platform.
Backwards compatible. Yeah.
Yeah. The next category are mobile games. My mobile game that I chose for accessibility is Plants vs. Zombies. It's a game released, I think, back in the day in the early 2000s by PopCap Games. Basically, it's a game where you are a homeowner and you're trying to defend your house from zombies. And the way that you defend your house from zombies is by planting different plants that have different abilities across different lanes to try and stop the zombies in different lanes from getting to your house. It's really, really entertaining. The gameplay is addictive. Would highly recommend it for anybody of any age, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard good things about Plants vs. Zombies. Now, my mobile recommendation is Kingdom 2 Crown. It's a game where you play as a monarch and you're riding like a steed of some sort. It's usually a horse. I think that's when you start the game, it's a horse. You're riding around. It's a 2D like side adventure thing, and you go around collecting coins and using the coins to like pay for upgrades to like upgrade and fortify a settlement, like a little settlement part of your kingdom. You also use it to like hire people, and just the money is how you do things in the game. You get money from like gathering and sending villagers to gather things and stuff. And then there's like a day-night cycle, and at nighttime, your settlement is attacked by, I think they're called the Greed or something like that. And it's just a question of, can your settlement survive the Greed's onslaught? And you have to build up your settlement, and there are multiple islands that you go to. As you go to different islands, you get access to more resources, And then eventually you get built up to the point where you can actually attack the greed and take them out permanently. And then that's how you beat the game. You save all 5 islands, I believe, from the greed,
Hmm.
and then you win the game. And there are multiple versions. Like there's the medieval Dark Age version. There's the medieval Japan version. There's like I think there's a like a dark monster. There's a few different versions of this game. A few different themes, but it's basically the same gameplay. But it's
Hmm.
super addictive. Like when I first played it, I was like, let me just try this. I think it's on Game Pass. I tried it and I played it for like 12 hours straight. I was like, oh gosh, that's very rare. I don't think there are too many games I can just pick up and play for 12 hours straight. It's super easy to learn, but it's super addictive. So Kingdom Two Crowns, you can get it on phones and you can also get it on consoles. So
Yeah, agree with Apex. Solid game, mad stressful. Not gonna
yeah,
lie.
and it does have
Um,
co-op too, which is pretty cool.
yeah, it does have co-op. So does Plants vs Zombies on consoles. But yeah, both games are really, really, really good.
Yeah,
All right. Our next category, I believe, is platformers.
yeah,
Do you want to start with yours, Apex?
yeah. My platformer recommendation. Um, platformers have there haven't been too many platformers in the current day and age, but there is one that kind of stands out in my opinion, pretty well, and it's Super Mario Brothers Wonder. It was a platformer on the Switch, and it's like it's just I mean platformers are just run and jump and stuff, but Super Mario Wonder was you can tell they put a lot of effort into it. Like I think even the development went on. Their approach to it was just make the best game possible, and they made a very good platformer with Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I played it on the Switch. It was really fun. I think you can also play with multiple people. It's got I mean some power up gimmicks which are kind of cool too. But yeah, Super Mario Brothers Wonder is a very cool platformer. All right,
Okay.
what about you, Cowboy?
All right. So my pick is the old school Sonic games. So like Apex said, there's not a lot of like great platformers that come out in this era. So I decided to do a huge throwback, the Sonic the Hedgehog games. So you can find these on multiple platforms: PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, mobile gaming as well. And I'm talking about like Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic CD, those types of games. They're like basically made extremely, extremely well. They have different mechanics depending on which one you choose. They've got great music, gameplay, the story, depending on which one you choose, is serviceable
Yeah.
to pretty good, depending on which one you choose. But yeah, you can't go wrong with old school Sonic the Hedgehog games made by Sega themselves. So
Nice.
yeah.
All right,
Um,
what's next? Puzzle games. You want to start with yours?
all right. So my puzzle game is Luminous. It's basically like a variation of Tetris, but it's musically based. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of you know what Tetris is, but if you don't, it's basically a puzzle game where basically blocks are falling from the sky, and you have to basically put these blocks into certain spaces so that you can clear lines of the screen. Um, Basically, Luminous does it a little bit differently because they have each stage based on music. So the way that these blocks fall is going to be to certain rhythms. So certain stages they'll fall very slowly, certain stages they'll fall very quickly, and that kind of varies up the gameplay and makes it kind of spicier than Tetris.
Okay.
It's also got competitive mode, same thing for Tetris as well. But it's just a really, really entertaining, highly addictive game if you get into it. And it's super easily accessible because, again, Tetris was super accessible,
Yeah.
or is super accessible. So yeah, that's mine. Q Entertainment, Luminous.
And where do you play it on again?
So you can play this game on PlayStation, Xbox, the Nintendo Switch, I believe. I think it's probably backwards compatible with the Switch too.
Oh wow.
I believe you could probably find it on PC as well, but I could be wrong. I'd have to double check Steam and other things to see.
Okay. My puzzle game is Medios. Now, I had a hard time coming to a conclusion about a recommended puzzle game, and but Medios is so good. It's kind of hard to find. It could be kind of hard to find because, as far as I know, it's only available on the Nintendo DS. Or, I mean, I guess if you had a 3DS, you could play it on that as well. But it's a Nintendo DS title where blocks fall from the sky. And it's been a while since I've played it, but blocks fall from the sky. And then when you line them up, like, I think you get 3 or 4 lined up, it launches those blocks upward. And then the goal is to launch all the blocks upward off your screen. And it sounds simple enough, but it, like, as the blocks can speed up over time, and there are multiple modes where like you play other players and they also drop blocks. But it's super addictive. It's super fun. It's fun, and I think there's like different. It's been a while, but I think there's different alien species, and they may have different gimmicks with the blocks and stuff. I can't remember. There may be even different gravities on different zones. I can't remember all of it, but I just remember I thoroughly enjoyed Meteos. It was super fun. I would love to be able to play it again if I could find it, but it could be kind of hard to, a little difficult to get back into. But I would love it as a remake or something, or release for like, I guess the Switch 2 or something. But yeah, Meteos is pretty cool.
Yeah. So Meteos is made by Q Entertainment. It's basically kind of like the second game that they made after Luminous, I believe. I never got to play it. I wanted to play it. I never had a 3DS or a Nintendo DS. Hopefully, like Apex says, I really hope that they re-release it. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, given I think it needed the stylus for the DS, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it used the stylus, but doesn't the Switch have a touchscreen?
I think it might, maybe. I don't know about the Switch 2, but maybe.
Yeah, but even then, I feel like you could probably play with controller. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I hope so. Because
Yeah,
it was a
but
solid game when it came out.
yeah, it was super good. All right,
Our next category is dance and rhythm games.
okay,
Um,
go for it.
so I guess I'll start off. My dance and rhythm game is Parappa the Rapper. Uh, so basically, this is an old school game that came out on the PlayStation 1. It's since been remade. It was made by or developed by uh, what is it? Give me one second. Nana Onsha. And it is a game about being an aspiring rapper and wanting to impress this female friend of yours, or this woman that you're interested in. And so you go through different levels, being taught by different senseis or different teachers to
Like the
teach you
Rap
basically,
Masters.
yeah,
Yeah,
different rap masters to teach you how to rap. It's it's I guess you could call it's cute, you know.
yeah, kind of
It's got a lot
quirky.
of personality, it's got a lot of charm to it. The songs are highly memorable. Like you'll be like singing along with them after a while and then kind of like dancing along with them. It's a really, really solid game. I think everybody should play it. It's mostly or only, I think, at this point on PlayStation platforms. But yeah, it's a really, really, really good game. If you can like play it on PlayStation, I believe it should be backwards compatible, or especially the remake of it should be backwards
Yeah,
compatible, or
yeah,
not remake, the remaster, I guess.
yeah. Rap is pretty cool. Yeah. So my recommended dance rhythm game is Elite Beat Agents, which is like the Western version of a Japanese rhythm game. It was like Osu or something like that. It was sadly it's also a DS game, DS 3DS game, but it's so good. It's such a good rhythm game. There's like 19 songs. I think 3 of them you unlock after you beat the game in like a higher difficulty. You can access them, but like they're all bangers, and each song there's like a story tied to why, I guess, why they use that song or that song in a way. And the stories are so like they're such caricatures and like over they're so comical and like they're over the top stories like there's and they're so silly like there's one story about like a weather woman who her son is waiting for her to like get off work for the weekend so they can enjoy the weekend, have a picnic and stuff. And then she goes in as a weather woman. She's telling the weather, and it's like, it's predicted to have storms and ruin their weekend. And then she's like, it's gonna be all sunshine like all weekend. So the story is she's basically like changing the weather, like blowing the clouds with fans and stuff like that. And changing the weather just so her son and them can enjoy the weekend. But it's so funny. And people get in and help it. And then you're just, as you're playing the game to the music, like how well you play the game determines how well she saves her weekend. So it's stuff like stories of that super over the top nature. But it's a great game. I love that game. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But yeah, it's great. Elite Beat Agents. But yeah, it's on the DS. And I guess you could play it on the 3DS as well.
Yeah, another one of those games that I wasn't able to play, but I sat there like that, like SpongeBob and Squidward meme where Squidward's in the window watching SpongeBob and Patrick running outside. That was me with Elite Beat Agents and Medio. It's been like, come on, man, like please.
I just want to blow bubbles.
I know, right?
Oh yeah, it's a great game.
But yeah, great game.
All right. So the next category, where is that? Oh, sports games. Now, surprise, surprise, I don't play too many sports games. Neither Cowboy and I, we don't play too many sports games. But I mean, we could have omitted this, but for completeness' sake, I guess what our ear to the ground tells us is, at least for me, what my ear to the ground tells me is there are some sport games that people play for whatever reason. So they're recommended, but for me, I recommend I don't know, 2K. Just play 2K. If you're gonna play a sports game, that's what I recommend. It's not awful. I've heard it's kind of the same every year, but if you desperately want to play a sports game, I guess 2K.
All right. My recommendation. All right, guys. So. Hear me out.
Hear him out.
Hear me out. They haven't made this game in a minute, but the game was fire. And I'm not going to lie. So, Dead or Alive, Extreme Beach Volleyball 1 and 2. Hear me out. It is, and it sounds like, and it is one of the biggest gooner games you'll find in sports gaming. Don't get me wrong. It is a gooner game, but the gameplay is actually good. Like, the gameplay was fired. So this is Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 1 and 2, made by Team Ninja, the same people that gave you the fighting game Dead or Alive, right? That's the series, right? It has a kind of like a very weak BS story of how these like fighters all are like transported to Zach, who's one of the fighters, the black guy's island, and basically they're playing in a volleyball tournament. Yes, you get to customize people's bathing suits. Yes, it's like basically I believe all women. Yes, like it is gooner as hell, but
the volleyball mechanics are legit.
The volleyball mechanics and the competitiveness is actually pretty good. And back in the day, the other part was you could actually like put in like your own custom soundtrack to it. Man, the game was good. I'm not gonna lie. I hate to do this to you guys, but it was a good game. Super easily accessible. Probably you should be playing it if you're a child or like I don't know, maybe a preteen, depending on your parents. But generally speaking, the mechanics of the game were good. You got money. There was different like mini games. You could go to a casino. You could play blackjack. You could do all kinds of other like things on the island besides, volleyball. There was like a dating sim element to it as well. Again, kind of goonerish. But like it again, generally speaking, was fun. Like
if you're looking for a sports game, it was a legit sports game.
Yeah, I mean, flame me in the comments if you want, but it was a good game. Like.
Oh man,
whatever. I don't care.
I respect your choice. Okay,
I did it. Like it is what it is. All right, so what's our next one? Our next one is fighting games. Oh, so this should be spicy.
All
You want to
right,
go first?
sure, I'll go first. I'm gonna keep it simple. Street Fighter 6 is my recommendation for fighters. Um, it is like the fighter today. Like everyone's playing it. I mean, not everyone's, but everyone's playing it. If you're playing fighters, you're playing Street Fighter 6. Um, it's a very well made fighter. The training mode is really well done. They've got character guides that give you like a little basic background understanding of how to play characters. There's trials to see what kind of combos characters can do. Um, the tiers, as far as like the discrepancies and ability between the characters, there is a spread, but no character is like unplayable because the core mechanics of the game are strong enough where every character, if you, I mean, you just know, if you know the core mechanics and the fundamentals, you should be able to do well or fight, at least fight back with any character in the game. And it's also available, I think it's available on all platforms, which is also pretty cool with like cross play, not cross progression. So if you buy it on different platforms, there's separate saves or whatever, but you can play anyone on any platform. I don't know about the Switch. I think you can play from the Switch with other people, but I think you can. I'm just gonna say I think you can. So, but yeah, Street Fighter 6. If you want to play fighters, I love it too. It's a great fighter. People say it may be kind of easy for a Street Fighter, but I don't know if that takes away from it because I think like execution wise it may be easier, but then like the mental stack, the mental like engagement you have to do with this game is a lot higher than previous games. So you have to think about what your opponent's actually doing more. So it's not as brain dead, I guess. But yeah, Street Fighter 6 is a great game and I recommend it if you're looking to play a fighter. All right, what do you got, Cowboy?
All
Or
right,
do you have
so
anything
I
to say about that?
say again. With Street Fighter 6, I mean, the Street Fighter series I've definitely enjoyed. It's kind of like one of the flagship fighting game titles, along with like Tekken, and maybe King of Fighters as well. At least with the 2D slash 2.5D fighters, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, the fighting game that I chose, which I guess is controversial in the fighting game community to an extent, is the Smash Brothers series. It's a Nintendo-based series. It's only on Nintendo consoles. The most recent one is Smash Bros. Ultimate, made on the Nintendo Switch One. It's made by HAL Laboratories, or developed by HAL Laboratories. The same people who gave you like Kirby and Earthbound and all that. Sakurai is the head, and I think we've talked about him before, playing the way he intended and all that jazz. But anyway, it's a super accessible game based on Nintendo characters who basically beat each other up to certain percents. The higher percent that they get beat up to, the further they fly off the platform. The goal is basically to knock the other player or the opponent off the platform and keep them off the platform. Um, that's the long and the short of it. It's a really, really well made game. Competitively, they're still playing it. It seems like it's fairly competitive as well. Um, I don't know. I think it's accessible to people of all ages. The only thing is you're locked. You have to get it through a Nintendo platform, which is the most recent Nintendo Switch 1 or Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah.
Um, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, it's a
Yeah.
very good game.
Yeah, Smash is super accessible. The moves are basically done by just holding a direction and pressing a button. So like anyone can do all the moves. You just got to remember what move you're doing or coordinate or just have good hand-eye coordination so you don't miss input. But like it's super accessible. But yeah, as a
Yeah.
fighter, it's definitely a pretty good one.
Yep.
Um, all right. What have we got for what's the next category? Beat 'em up. You want to go with yours, Cowboy?
All right, so my beat 'em up that I chose is Streets of Rage 4, developed by Dotemu, Lizard Cube, and Guard Crush Games. I can't remember when it came out. It came out in the last maybe several years or so. It's basically a revival of the Streets of Rage series back in like the 90s. It's a solid game. Got very good co-op. Got fighting game mechanics with the character moves and everything. The story's decent for again a beat 'em up side scrolling game. Um, I'd recommend it to pretty much anyone. Like it's on multiple different platforms. Um, there's really nothing to hate about this game. It's got a good amount of replayability too.
Yeah. All right. So
What about you?
yeah, my beat 'em up recommendation is Towerborn. I played it a while back, I think last year, and it was still, what was it, early access or something. I'm not too sure what's going on with it, like if the full release has come out. But I mean, I it was a great beat 'em up. It's kind of like an MMO beat 'em up, so it's a literal. It's a little bit more on the grindy side, and like there's an RNG element to getting loot and stuff. But as far as beat 'em up goes, like the mechanics are cool and pretty straightforward. There's four classes you can play as that use like different weapons, and they're all pretty fun. But yeah, Towerborn, and it's got a decent story. If you're familiar with the show or the series Ruby, RWBY, it's kind of Ruby esque. It kind of I get a lot of the sense of that. I like it. Maybe it may have been inspired by that in some way, but it reminds me of that series. Rip the series creator, but yeah, Towerborn, great beat 'em up MMO RPG kind of game. So if you're looking for a beat 'em up, I don't know if it's on Xbox Game Pass. I don't know if it's on other consoles, so I think it might be on Steam as well. But yeah, so for our next category, two-player co-op games. My recommendation is Portal 2. It's kind of old, might be kind of hard to come by. Um, I believe it was available on the 360 PS3 era games. And there may be remake backwards compatible stuff available now. I'm not sure. You can probably find it on Steam as well. But Portal 2 is a sequel to Portal, which was a puzzle game where you have a gun that shoots portals. It can shoot two different types of portals, but only one version of each type of portal. And they're linked. So when you create the portals, you can go through one and you come out the other portal.
Hmm.
It's a puzzle game where you just navigate environments and solve puzzles using that mechanic. Portal 2 is a co op version of that, and it expands on it and incorporates a co op element where your partner may need to create portals for you so you can go through, and then you go through portals, or you work together to figure it out. And it's also got a story, a great story. Yeah, and the humor is actually super hilarious. There's like an AI that oversees your solving the puzzles, and it's super funny, and yeah, it's great.
Okay. Um, my my co-op game is It Takes Two. Uh, it's a game developed by Haze Light Studios. It is the same studio that gave you
A Way
uh,
Out,
yeah, Way Out, and also what was that most recent
Split
game?
Fiction,
Split Fiction as well. Yes.
yeah, also great.
So yeah, also great. All three are great games. This game, It Takes Two, is basically about a couple that is going through the beginnings of a divorce. So they have a kid, and basically they end up getting, I believe, like transported into this book, and they have to navigate the levels, work together to navigate these levels in order to like make it out. It's got a very good story. It's got a like good game mechanics and co-op mechanics. It legitimately makes you have to work together with like your partner or whoever you're playing with. It's got online co-op. It's available on multiple different platforms. And the thing is, like, again, like it is a co-op game, but it also kind of like Portal and other like really heavy co-op games. You actually have to communicate. You actually have to like coordinate with your partner to be successful. You know what I mean? Like, and that makes it even more fun because again, it takes like teamwork. It takes literally like working on communication. It takes a lot of things that I guess in theory a marriage takes, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I would highly recommend it to pretty much almost anyone. Maybe not kids, just because it tackles like a fairly dark topic such as divorce. But generally speaking, to like adolescents and above, I would recommend highly.
yeah, yeah. It's a great game. Yeah. All right.
But our
All right. What's
next
next?
is our decision making game. And so, do you want to start with yours?
Yeah. My decision based game recommendation is Life is Strange. I think that there's multiple Life is Strange games. There's like Life is Strange True Colors, but the original Life is Strange is what I'm recommending. You play as a character who has the power to like rewind time a certain amount, and she uses this power to like there's like some upcoming storm that's coming to the town to kind of destroy the town, and she uses this power to like I guess kind of save the town, save the world. And but it's there's more to it than that kind of in the story. It also kind of tries to save her friend, but yeah, it's just got a great story, and it's really well done, and I really enjoyed it. Like I remember playing it and thinking, "Don't give me superpowers," because while I was playing it, I abused it and tortured people, and I'm like, "Yeah, I would probably do that with real superpowers." So yeah, but yeah, it's a great game. It really brings out like who you are as a person.
Oh, geez. Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
All right. What have
Uh,
you got, Cowboy?
all right. So, my game is Telltale's The Walking Dead series. Telltale's games, I'm pretty sure decision making games have existed for a while, but Telltale Games was kind of like the studio that uh, either revived or like revolutionized that genre. They've made like a slew of different games: The Wolf Among Us, Walking Dead. I think a Batman game as well. They've made like
Yeah.
I don't even know, at least probably like a dozen of those games at this point.
Yeah, there's a ton of
Um,
them.
but but the Walking Dead series is one of their best games because it basically gives you a character. I think his name is like Lee Everett or something like that. He's
Yeah.
a black man who's, I think he ends up escaping from like a police car in the beginning. You don't really know much about him, and you end up learning about his character and learning about what the circumstances that led him to that point. Throughout the game, he ends up meeting a little girl named Clementine, I guess, and she's searching for her parents in the beginning of the game, and you kind of learn also about her character, and her circumstances. Throughout the game, you make different, I guess, game altering decisions or story altering decisions. It becomes kind of stressful because, like, when you
Oh
make
yeah.
certain decisions, characters it will show you on the screen like that character will remember this, and you're like, oh crap, like you know what I mean? Whether you killed somebody, whether you like didn't help somebody, whether you did help somebody, like characters will typically remember whatever actions you did, and like they may come back to either help you or bite you later in the game. I think the game was done phenomenally well. I think the story was awesome, and memorable, and that's part of the reason why I'm bringing it up now. I think everybody should play that game or play one of their decision making games.
Yeah.
The game at the time that it came out was available on Xbox platforms, PlayStation platforms, PC. I don't think it was on Nintendo platforms at that time, but I could be wrong. I think to this day it's still available on PC platforms, Xbox platforms, PlayStation platforms, and I'm still not sure if it's
I
available
think
on.
it might be on the Switch now.
We
I
might.
think I've seen The Walking Dead in the stores.
Okay, well that's good then.
Yeah, on the Switch store, eShop.
Th- I'm glad
But
they got their weight up.
yeah,
Um,
wow. Yeah, those games
but
are great though.
super stressful, but great.
Oh yeah, very stressful. It's so hard like playing them, and you get it really like there's a lot of FOMO in those games where you're like you want to do everything, but you have to do something, and you have to also not do something else. And yeah, the
Yep.
FOMO is real in a lot of those decisions.
Yep. All right. What's our next category? Next category is simulation games.
Yeah.
Um, I guess I'll start off with mine.
Yep. Go for it.
All right. So my simulation game, I mean, it should be. I mean, pretty much everybody should know about this game by this point. It's The Sims, made by Maxis, published under, I believe, EA at this point. Um, but It's a game where basically you kind of simulate human life. You create like an environment for them, and you kind of like help them survive and like live their lives basically. I never got into it personally, but like growing up, these were huge games. I mean, they're kind of extensions of like the other Sim games like Sim City and things like that. But yeah, really, really good games. I know people really enjoy them. They're kind of like an alternative to Animal Crossing, if that's your cup of tea. But yeah,
Yeah.
really good games.
So my simulation game is the Outer Wilds, and it's actually simulations as a category is kind of super broad and open ended. It's kind of hard to pin it down. I guess. I mean, yeah, it's simulation, but there's a wide variety of games that fit in that category who are completely different from each other. But I chose the Outer Wilds. It's like the simulation of like a solar system, and you can like, you can get into a rocket, and it simulates launching into space and like navigating around the solar system and stuff like that. And I don't want to get too much into it because there is a story, and it's kind of like a puzzle game that you got to figure out and play around with the mechanics of it. But it's really cool because like, you can see like planets orbiting and stuff like that in real time and stuff. And like you can actively fly to these planets, and you have to like manage your trajectory as you fly to these different planets and your fuel and stuff. It's a really cool game. But yeah, the Outer Wilds, really cool game. It's got some really cool celestial events. I'll say I'm not gonna get any more into it because that would spoil it. Yeah, the Outer Wilds is cool.
Sounds good.
So our last category is roguelikes. And my recommendation is not super accessible. It's only on the PS5 and I think PC, Steam as well. But it's Returnal. Now, I recommend it, but it's super difficult. So if you're not into super difficult games, I understand. But it does have co-op, which is pretty cool. But it's a super cool roguelike. It's like a 3D roguelike. Honestly, it feels like what Metroid should be. Like Metroid should be this like fast paced and actiony, and but that's neither here nor there. For Eternal, it's a third person shooter. Uh, Roguelike is randomly generated like environments, you know. So every time you go into a new room, it'll be different than the next time you play through it. If you die, you restart the instance. I think there's like 3 zones, and if you beat like a zone, then that's just like a checkpoint. You'll start at the beginning of the next zone, if I remember correctly. But it's also got a story which you got to unravel through playing the game and going through all the different iterations of your playthrough. But yeah, it's super cool. It's super cool. It's a really good game. But yeah, Returnal.
Yeah, I believe they're coming out with a sequel. I can't remember the name of that sequel, but they're coming out with
Yeah, it's
either a
like a
sequel or a
spiritual
successor.
successor or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
and the
think it might have
game,
co-op eventually.
yeah, the game looks fire. I think the
Yeah,
original game didn't start off with co-op, and then they ended up adding it in as a patch.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, really, really good game. Played it with Apex. It was super difficult,
It's so
but
difficult.
once you get in, and super stressful, but once you get into it, once you understand the mechanics, one of the best gaming experiences in recent memory. Very
Yeah,
good.
super difficult, but like it's fair.
Yep.
They're not too cheap. You just gotta lock in, basically.
Yeah, and find some super busted like
Yeah, like
things in
weapons and
game.
things during the run and power ups, and which
Yep.
is luck of the draw sometimes.
Yep. Um, so my game for that is Absalom. It's a game by Guard Crush Games. Some of the same people that helped develop Streets of Rage 4. Um, it's a beat 'em up roguelike. So I don't know if it's the first of its kind, but it's probably one of the first of its kind.
Yeah,
Or one of the only of its kind. Story's good, music's great. Um, the best part about the game, it's 2-player co-op and it's extremely busted. Like and like I've talked about this before, where like there's two types of busted. There's the busted where it's like, okay, you're unplayable, and then there's the busted where you give me enough power in game where I can combine different elements of the powers to create such a busted character class, such a broken character class, such an OP character that it's just stupid fun. And basically, it allows you to experiment with different powers and combinations of powers to try and figure out how could you break this game. Love it. Like, love to see it. You know what I mean? Um, Honestly, I got nothing else to say. I 10 out of 10 would play again. I think they just came out with some like extra content recently. I'm probably gonna play through that too. But got all the achievements. Love that game.
Yeah, Absalom's great.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
yeah, I think that's it.
All right, so we want to go over our closing message. We have a special announcement, I guess, of sorts.
All right. So the special announcement is that we will be taking a hiatus. This is the end of our season 1 of Concepts of a Podcast. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all of you guys who have taken the time out to, watch our clips or watch our long form videos. We greatly appreciate all of your time. The the other thing, as always, again, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube. Make sure to like and also do the poll question on Spotify. My name is Cowboy Bebop Crew,
I'm Apex Dova.
and this is Concepts of a Podcast, where we don't have a podcast, we have concepts of a podcast. Thank you again so much for watching, and we are out.